In case you hadn't already noticed, everything is getting super duper gay. Corporations have gone gay, sports teams have gone gay, and now a beloved cartoon character from the late 1960s has, after 53 years in the closet, gone gay too.
And as promised, here are your Scooby snacks.
That's Velma there, just absolutely drooling at the Velma dressed up like a 1970s lady, drooling at the sight of this kind of 2022 looking lesbian lady. Little old Velma is officially a lesbian. Before the year is through, I have no doubt that Mickey will go trans and Popeye will get into S&M. But for now, Velma is a lesbian because Hollywood has, in its own words, a not-so-secret gay agenda. But why? Why? Why does Velma, after all these years, need to be a lesbian? Some people are actually arguing that Velma has always been a lesbian. Why? Because she's frumpy and has short hair? That's not very nice to lesbians. Because Velma doesn't have a boyfriend? Shaggy doesn't have a girlfriend. Does that mean that Shaggy's gay? The person Shaggy spends the most time with is Scooby-Doo. Does that mean that Shaggy is into that weird bestiality thing that the Biden nuclear energy guy photographs himself doing? I don't think so. I certainly hope not. Why does every single thing have to be gay, including half-century-old cartoons? Because narrative matters, of course. Narrative matters more than just about anything else in politics. That's why the left spends so much time and energy rewriting the past. Whoever controls the past controls the present. Whoever controls the present controls the future. Right now, you got to go to establishedtitles.com/Knowles, because I tell you, there was a period when I felt like I wasn't getting no respect. No respect, I tell you. And then that all changed thanks to Established Titles. Now, I am Lord Michael Knowles, and you can be a lord or a lady as well. You can get the respect that you deserve. All you need is a 1 square foot plot of land in Scotland. Established Titles is a project based on an historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds, or lords and ladies in English. In your title pack, you will be bestowed with at least 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, plus an official certificate with a crest. Your certificate features a unique plot number with which you can see the exact location of your land. Title packs from Established Titles are a fun and unique gift for any occasion. There are even couple packs, because you don't want to be a lord and then your poor wife doesn't get to be a lady. With your certificate, you could officially add the prefix lord or lady to your credit cards, plane tickets, even your dating profiles. Plus, Established Titles commits to preserving the woodlands not only in Scotland, but around the planet. They've got partnerships with global charities like One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to help with our afforestation efforts. And for every order they receive, a tree is planted. Established Titles told me, get this, the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my exclusive link will receive a plot within a few walking minutes of mine. That's right. So depending on how many of you want to become a lord or a lady, we can build our own kingdom. And that will be wonderful, and it will be run with an iron fist. Established Titles is actually running a massive sale right now. If you use code Knowles, you'll get on top of that an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/Knowles. Get your gifts right now and help support the channel. Planned Parenthood is peddling puberty blockers to kids. The kids that slip through the fingers of Planned Parenthood, the kids who are actually able to live and be born. Planned Parenthood says, okay, we weren't able to get you in the womb, but we are going to destroy your bodies and your lives once you're out of the womb. Here's the commercial they're running.
There's no one-size-fits-all puberty experience. If you're trans, intersex, or non-binary, know that you're not the only one feeling confused. For some intersex people, puberty may start later than age 14. You might experience some of puberty's changes and not others, and your body may or may not go through puberty on its own. There are medicines you can take to help your body start the process, like hormone replacement therapy. Some people decide on hormones or surgeries to help their bodies match up to their gender identity, or how they feel inside about themselves. Your gender identity is real. You should be the one to decide what changes you want to make to your body. If you're transgender or non-binary, you may find that your puberty experiences don't line up with your gender identity or how you see yourself. That feeling can be uncomfortable, scary, and stressful. If that sounds like you, know that you're not alone. There are medicines you can take to delay puberty for a while. They're called puberty blockers, and they work like a stop sign by halting the hormones testosterone and estrogen that cause puberty changes like facial hair growth and periods. Puberty blockers are safe and can give you more time to figure out what feels right for you.
Man, that's the weirdest episode of Scooby-Doo I ever saw, isn't it? I don't know, Velma looks a little bit different. Not all that much different, I guess. It's hard even to single out Planned Parenthood here for this perverted, evil attack on children, though it is obviously both of those things, because the whole culture's doing it, because Scooby-Dooby-Doo's doing it. So of course Planned Parenthood is going to do it. Why? Why are all these people doing this? There's an ideological incentive. Earlier I said whoever controls the past controls the present, whoever controls the present controls the future. That's true. It's missing a little something though. There's actually even an earlier part to that equation, which is whoever controls the imagination controls the past. The imagination is what comes first. We don't have really direct access to the past. We only have access to things that are in the present. We only have access to people who are in the present. And those things and those people can evoke memories, but really they're constituting narratives. And those narratives inform our vision, which is just in our imagination of what the past is. So if you in your imagination, see America in the 1950s as a nice place with 2 cars in every garage and a chicken in every pot and basically stable family lives and basically a good place, that informs one sense of the past. And that's going to inform how you view the present and how you want to live in the future. Or if in your imagination you view America in the 50s as a racist, evil, bigoted, violent, dangerous, terrible, evil, consumerist, trash place, well, that's going to give you a very different view of the past and the present, and it's going to inform how you want to live into the future. Why is Planned Parenthood so focused on this narrative? Why is the whole left so focused on this narrative? Well, because they have an ideological agenda, absolutely. They want the future to look a certain way because of how they view human beings in the world. They also have a huge financial interest in promoting this stuff. Do you think it's just a coincidence that all the biggest, most powerful forces in the country just so happen to adopt the ideological view, in this case, transgenderism, that just so happens to hook people at younger and younger ages on extremely expensive medical subscriptions that will require a ton of money? It'll be a huge moneymaker, as some public health administrators have talked about here in Tennessee, and will keep them on it their whole lives. And that just so happen to increase the corporate and state control over their lives and their reliance on corporations and on the state? You think it's just a coincidence? That the ideological narratives being painted by the establishment stand to greatly enrich and empower that very same establishment? That's just a coincidence? Wow, lucky for them. What a lucky break. No, of course not. Of course not. A lot of this is being driven by money as well. And as the narrative serves the financial and political interests of the establishment, you're seeing the cases of transgenderism skyrocket. In the UK, there's a new tranche of data released by the Gender Identity Development Service at the UK's infamous Tavistock Centre, found out that child and adolescent referrals have doubled compared to the previous year. GIDS, as it is called, GIDS or JIDS, it's sort of like GIF or GIF, now estimates that over 5,000 children and adolescents sought gender-related services in 2021 to 2022. That is a 112% increase over the previous year. How'd that happen? Is Alex Jones right? Is there something in the water turning the frogs and turning Velma and turning everybody gay and trans? He actually was right about the frogs. People don't give him credit for that, but he was right. There was a Yale and EPA study that found that there were chemicals in the water that were turning the frogs into hermaphrodites, but that's a point for another time. Is it that, or do you think there's a social contagion here that's being compounded, that's being promoted by corporate and state interests? And who are the Who are the victims here? The victims happen to be these kids who destroy their bodies, who destroy their lives, who become extremely depressed, who despair, even though there is a way out, but there is irreparable damage that comes along with that as well. That's what happens. The numbers, of course, are going to keep going up. Because even as normal people, the vast majority of Americans, vast majority of Brits, I'm sure, think that this is completely insane. And public opinion polls reflect that, and elections reflect that. The Youngkin election to governor in Virginia was largely about this issue of transing the kids, okay? And he won in a blue state. So yeah, of course the people are opposed to this stuff. And yet, it continues to be enshrined in law. What's up with that? What's up with that? Well, because our political establishment does not reflect the will of the people, much as they want to prattle on about our sacred democracy. They don't give a damn about our democracy. They hate democracy. They hate it when the people vote against their interests. All they care about is their version of liberalism, and they're going to impose it. They're going to impose it like a jackboot on our necks, and they're going to have the temerity to call it democracy. And when we fight back, they're going to have the temerity to call us threats against democracy. Speaking of pushing these narratives, speaking of everything, every single thing becoming super duper gay, we have got a trailer for this movie that my producers insist that I watch. It's called Bros. It's a movie, it didn't do very well, apparently, at the box office on opening weekend. It's apparently very, very gay. The producers want to know if I should review this movie, give an actual proper review. We'll take a look at the trailer together. You tell me if we should review the movie. The rest of the show is continuing now. You don't want to miss it. If you're not a member, click the link in the description and join us.